Okay, peace, y'all. Hope everybody's doing well. Brother Derek checking in with another video. Still here in Africa, just enjoying the time here. So I had a quick thought on something I've been thinking about, and just why paying rent is keeping a lot of people broke, keeping a lot of people poor. And I say that because I remember back when I was paying rent, and I tell you, I seemed like it would come every week. I know you pay your rent every month, but it seemed like it would come around every week. And I just felt like I never really had opportunity to save money. I never really had opportunities to really do some of the things I wanted to do, buy some of the things I wanted to buy. And unfortunately, that's how it is. You know, you have to pay for where you live. You have to pay, you know, just that rent that's due every month. But there's a way you can get around that. And and you probably heard this before. A lot of people talk about, side hustles is one way you can kind of help get rid of that risk of that bill you have to pay every month. Also, there's other ways that we use, which was real estate. We started with duplexes. Me and my wife bought a duplex each. So before we got together, we bought duplexes. She bought a duplex and I bought a duplex. And there's multiple ways you can do this. You can buy a duplex like us, which is two houses in one. So you got one house on one side, one house on the other, same roof. And it's just split down in half. So it's basically like a house being cut in half. Each person has their own entrance, exit. They all have their own attic, basement, bedrooms. Everything is split, but they share a roof. The roof is shared, and the driveway is shared. And there's many different types of duplexes. I had it side by side. My wife had it up and down, so she lived upstairs. She had people live downstairs. There's 3 units where, there might be it might be configured a little different. It might be, a one unit, or it might be, 1 unit here, another unit here, another unit in the back, and they're all separate. And then there's 4 plexes. There's so many ways you can do it, but the key is to have tenants that are paying you rent every month, and that's what we were able to do. Is we were able to have people pay us to live in our units. So ultimately, what that did was that allowed us to no longer have to pay rent. We put ourselves or positioned ourselves on the other side. So now we're receiving rent, and this is something that anybody can do. We did this back in 17 and 18. So we doing this for a couple of years. We have multiple properties, but we started just like how I'm telling y'all is with a duplex. And ultimately, all you really have to do is save up enough money for a down payment, which could be 10 to 12,000 depending on where you live and how much the house costs. There's many programs that they have available for everybody that you can use. You will need a decent credit score. I would say at least a 620. And just make sure that you have little debt. So if you're getting ready to do this, which is buy a property, I would recommend you not buy a car. Wait a little bit for that. Wait till after you get your house to buy a car. Pay off any credit card bills, especially if they're really outstanding bills. If you got high credit card bills in the thousands, pay those off. I would recommend you just get on top of your finances, start really, get a budget sheet and look at all the ways that you're spending money and look at all the ways that you can save some money, because you will at least need to have some money. Because even if you are able to get into a house with no money down, which I don't recommend, I recommend you at least put some money down so that you can get a lower so that your mortgage payments can be a little lower. And also it's just, you'll get a better interest rate if you put some money down, in my opinion, through the programs that I've used and researched. But, there are ways. NACA has no money down programs, and, they pay your down payment for you as well. But either way, you want to have some money saved up, because when you own a house, things will break, whether it's a single family or a duplex. Things will break, plumbing issues, electrical issues, those things do happen. But the beautiful thing about it is you will be on the other side if you take this method. Because a lot of people, when I was working at the car plant I was working at, a lot of people wanted to buy a house, and they did. And what they did was they bought single family houses, and that's not what I recommend you do for your first house. When you buy a single family house, you're essentially still in that same trap as if you were renting. Of course, you now own your house. So if you ever want to sell it, you can get profit from it. You'll have equity in the home over time, which you can then pull out if you want to use that money to invest in something else, or if you need some money to take care of some bills, you can have equity if you keep the house over time. But ultimately you're still stuck in that trap of working, every day to pay off make that mortgage payment. You're stuck just like you were paying rent. Ultimately, it's still keeping you poor. Like those things, rent, having a mortgage payment for a single family house will keep you poor. It will keep you stuck in your job. It'll keep you from enjoying life, having some type of freedom, having some type of ability to travel. And that's big for me, and maybe that's big for you, but it may not be big for you. You may not value travel. You may want to you might have a car you really want to buy, or you may want to put some money away for retirement, or you may want to put your kid through college. So there's so many things that you may want to do with that money that you're unable to do now because you're stuck every month paying out, paying out, paying out. But the method that I'm telling you, and I know it works because it worked for us, is that it can get you on the other side where you're receiving every month, you're getting every month. You can be on vacation, traveling, getting paid every month, and that's what we're doing right now. We're on vacation, we're in Africa, looking at investments and possibly relocating here, but we're getting paid every month. And I'll show you some of the tools that we use to do that because we're managing our properties from here, but that's a little more advanced for y'all. It's just starting out, but the goal for y'all and what I want for y'all to do is start looking into, and just getting your head around the idea of just living in a duplex, buying a duplex. And you don't even have to live in it. I recommend, if you don't have a place yet and you're still renting, to live into that duplex so that you can then collect rent from your tenant, and then you can live for free on your side, and then you don't have to pay rent. You actually be able to eliminate your rent, and you'll be able to make a profit. So I'll give you a quick example. For me, I was paying $655 back in 2016 to 17. I bought my house in 2018, my first house, which was a duplex, and I was, like I said, paying $655. I saved up roughly $12,000, and I was able to get into like a first-time homebuyers program. From there, I was able to I found my house was a duplex, and I put, like I said, I had to put 5% down, because with a lot of first-time homebuyers programs, you can put between 2.5% and maybe 10%. And I wanted to be on that lower end. So you can do FHA, which is 2.5% down. I believe they still have FHA programs. And you can also, go through, there's different programs you can find, different programs you can use and go through, but I took the 5% because that was best for me. Put 5% down, so I basically saved up like $12,000, and all that went to closing costs and deposit. So I found a three bedroom, 3 bath on each side, so it's a duplex. I lived on one side, and I had a tenant that lived on the other side. Of course, I renovated it, rehabbed it, and all that. And then I was able to live on one side. So one side, I was living for free. My mortgage was $1,016, I think, 1,000, something like that. Let's just say 1,000 to be safe. I think it was 1,016, but we'll just say 1,000. So I went from, now it may be it's definitely a little jump for a lot of people, as I was paying $655, and then I went from paying $655 to having a mortgage of $1,000. But my unit, I was able to rent it out for $1,350. So that $1,350 covered my mortgage, and it also allowed me to live for free because that mortgage covers both sides. So that $1,000 payment paid for the mortgage for the duplex, which is 2 houses in one. So I got $1,000 mortgage. I'm renting one side for $1,350, and I'm able to live for free. So I eliminated that $655 I told you I was paying for rent. I'm no longer a renter, I'm an owner. So I'm owning both sides. I'm renting one side for $1,350. My mortgage is $1,000. So you do the math. How much am I making? Exactly. I'm actually making $1,350 if you think about it, because my mortgage is $1,000. I was paying $655 in rent, but I no longer have to pay that. So I just freed up all of that money that I used to pay for rent is now over here in my pocket. I'm keeping that. So now my tenants, they're paying me, she's paying me $1,000, $1,350 every month. So I use her $1,000 out of that $1,350 to pay the mortgage. I keep $350, and I no longer have to pay that rent payment of $655 because I now own the house. So I mean, it's simple. It's not easy. It's a process. And me and my wife, we created a program, Real Estate Freedom Masterclass that we have. It's in the link below. Excuse me. And that allowed us to, teach people, give you out a game of what worked for us, because it is easy to do, but there's a lot of process, a lot of steps in this process you have to do correctly to make that happen. You probably hear a lot of stories about people who've done this wrong and have lost money, and they've chosen the wrong tenant, so they didn't, buy properties in the right neighborhood. And we go over all of that. We show you how we did it. We show you how we able to, live for free, and how we have multiple properties now, how we're able to travel, and even consider living in a whole other country. So I hope this video helps y'all a lot. I'll be uploading more and more. I just wanted to do this video real quick. I just got done working out, and I wanted to get this video while everything's fresh in my mind. But I'll be back with another video soon, so please like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. And also, if y'all need any information, if you want a coaching call with me, the link is also below. So check it out. See you in the next video. Peace.